get this set up before I even hit the button. Um, Hello, my name is LaShonda. I'm a single mom of two. I'm a owner of two businesses. I am a hairstylist and I run a health and wellness business. I want to come on here and talk about something today, and my subject is how to recognize abuse. And I came up with that because I have experienced it, and I know a lot of women has as well. Some men do too. But I was watching a TV show, and they were talking about that. And they were talking about, well, one particular lady was talking about, how she was abused in her relationship, but mostly it was verbal. So I will talk about verbal today and kind of get more into that. But there is different kinds of abuse. But I believe that the first one that you should recognize, or probably that you have recognized, is the verbal abuse. And that is using your words to hurt other people. Or using words to hurt the person that you're in a relationship with and that you're supposed to love, and care for. My definition of abuse is using degrading words, using words to break your spirit, using words to pretty much get your way, to get that person to do what you want that person to do, to control their minds, control what they do, control what they don't do, control how they feel, and all those things fall under verbal abuse. And I give you a little bit of my story. I was married for almost 7 years. I think it was 8 once we finally, got divorced. And we have 2 kids. It's a boy and a girl. And to be honest, the abuse started way before we got married. I will say that we moved kind of quick in our relationship, because before we got married, I was pregnant. And I always, told myself I didn't want to bring a child into the world if I wasn't married. So we both agreed on it, and that's what we did. But like I said, before then, the abuse had started, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't, because it was always, he would always use his words and then say, "I'm sorry," afterwards. He would say, "I'm sorry," and then maybe we would go out to eat, or he'll go out and buy me something. And then, I just kind of just let it go. And, as time went on, it continued. And it became more and more. But still yet, I didn't know. I didn't know. I just thought it was just an argument we had, and that, we would be okay. And I think my biggest thing that I wish I would have done is talk to someone, whether it was a friend or a family member. I wish I would have opened up about it, or I wish I would have asked questions about it. That way I would have known more about who I was dealing with and why, it was happening. But I didn't. So, we ended up getting married, and, once we married, like I said, it continued on. It continued, the verbal. And then, once the verbal starts and they get into your head, and it gets to a point to where you're only thinking about them. How they going to feel if I do this? How they going to feel if I say that, or let me make sure that it's okay with them before I do such and such. And that was my mentality, and I thought that, okay, that's my husband, so, that was okay to do. But once again, I didn't know. So, like I said, as time went on, it went from verbal to, the other forms of abuse. But like I said today, I just want to touch on the verbal abuse. When you're in a relationship, be sure that even at the beginning, pay attention to what they say to you, mostly. And then once you pay attention to what they say, then their actions will eventually follow. So, and you have to make sure you ask the right questions. And sometimes we are scared to ask questions because we don't want to know the answer, or we're scared that we're going to scare him or her away, from wanting to know things at the very beginning. In these days, you have to ask the questions up front. You have to know, because you need to know what you are getting yourself into. You need to know how you will need to go about, maybe further a relationship or maybe not further a relationship. But when it comes to verbal abuse, you never really know. You just got to kind of give it some time. And like I said, just keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, and just know that when you get that gut feeling, when you get that, as they call it, butterfly feeling, or you get that knot in your stomach, something ain't right. Do not ignore it. Or if they say something and you have to sit back and question what they just said and how they said it, pay attention. Something ain't right. If they just so happen to call you out your name, something ain't right. Or if they ask you to do something and just say you forgot about it, and they ask you, did you do it? And then they get mad with you and then kind of may not call you out your name, but they kind of say slick things, or get this attitude to where they kind of shut down and not talk and stuff like that. Something ain't right. So just pay attention to those signs. Don't let those signs bypass. Don't let them make you think that you're crazy, for thinking the way you think, because those thoughts came for a reason. And when your thoughts come for a reason, then yeah, you need to look more into it. You need to ask more questions. You need to look deep into what you are actually getting yourself into. Our relationships start out good. It's nice, it's fun, it's exciting, but just know in between that time that it's all that little things starts to be said here and there. They start to throw little things in there and you just kind of overlook it like, oh, he just playing, or he didn't mean that. Pay attention. Pay attention. Sit back and think about it. And one thing now that wasn't real common back then was Google. Google. You could Google anything. Anything. And I put it like this. If you don't want to ask a question to someone, Google it. Ask Google. It'll tell you. It will tell you. It will tell you, and then you may have other people's comments about their experiences or what they think or their opinions. You can always find an answer. And Google is the place to go. So I just want to come on here and, talk about that a little bit. And one thing I did do when I was married, once I realized a name for it, which was verbal abuse, I ordered a book. I can't find the book because I wanted to show it, but I can't now. But when I do, I will be sure to come back on and share that with you as well. But I bought a book about verbal abuse. I wanted to know what it was. I want to know what it looked like. Like, is this real? Because when you don't know, you don't know. And when you've never seen it, you don't know. And so I wanted to know for myself, what is this? Is this real? Can it really happen? Can words really tear you down? Can words really hurt you that much? Yes. And sometimes you have to do the investigation for yourself, so reality can actually set in for you. Even though you're actually sitting in the reality, you're experiencing the reality of it, you want to read it. You want to know for sure that this is what it is. And when I read the book, and I realized that that's who I was dealing with, and when I brought it up to him, he was like, what is that? Where do you get that from? And I told him I bought a book about it, and this is what you're doing. And of course, he denied. He denied because he don't know what it is, and he's used to doing what he was used to doing, and he thought that it was okay. But when I called him on it, guess what happened? That caused more friction, So of course, we got into it, whatever. But that's what happens when you call an abuser on his stuff. he denies it. He gets mad. Pretty much, he probably curse you out. He probably downgrade you, say all kind of stuff to you, just to make you feel like you shouldn't have done what you did. You shouldn't have investigated it. You shouldn't have just pretty much other people's opinions, or you shouldn't have done what you did. Listen, as a woman, I have learned that I have to protect myself. As a mother, I've learned that I have to protect myself and my kids. And my biggest concern is my kids. I didn't want my kids to grow up in a household with that going on all their lives. And they would have thought that it was okay. And it's not okay. It's not okay to be talked down to. It's not okay. Just know that it's not okay. When you are being verbally abused, it eats away at you from the inside. You would find yourself going into a depression. You will find yourself not feeling like yourself. You will find yourself in a place to where you no longer think about you. It becomes all about them. Trying your best not to make them mad, not to make them mad so they won't have nothing to say. Whether you say something or not, something will always has to be said. Always. Always. And I know with mine, it became an everyday issue. And I had to find a way to learn how to deal with the situation. Because I knew that I've left my husband every year we were married. But I always went back. I did this for 6 years. And that last year, it was after I had my son. I told him, I said, now, and the thing is, they know they are wrong. They know it. And I told him, I said, listen, I'm tired. I said, we done had another child. And I thought that maybe this will kind of, bring us back together and get things on the right path. And I was willing to work with him. And I told him, the next time he goes off, that's going to be it. I'm done. And so he was like, okay, I'm going to do right. He did right. He did right for a good 3 months. I gave him 6 months. For 3 months, I don't think he made it the 3rd month. He flipped again. I can't even tell you what it was about. So once he did that, I was like, listen, I done had enough. I'm done. So in my mind, I was done. But I still loved him. And I told myself that I would stay until all the love was gone. And that's what I did. I stayed until all the love was gone. And once that was gone, it was nothing he could say to me. It was nothing that he could do to me to make me feel any other way. Because I was tired. And even though I stayed until all the love was gone, I still had to deal with the arguments, the verbal abuse, but I had to find a way to deal with it. And that's when I became closer to God. That's when I really began to pray. I really started to read my Bible. I always was going to church, so I continued to do that. That's when I ordered that book about verbal abuse. And I ordered another book, How to Have a Merry Spirit in a Martha's World, something like that. That book helped me so much to build myself up. And once I got that courage to stand tall and stand up to him, it felt so good. And he knew, because I've never stood toe to toe with him. I will always back down. But once I got, as they say, my mojo back, once I got that, it was like, it felt so good because I had finally taken control of me. I was finally getting me back. I was finally getting my strength back. because I had lost it trying to make him happy. And no matter what I did to try to make him happy, it was never enough. But once I did that, because I will always pray, Lord, because people always say, well, pray for that person to change. Okay, so when I got this book and I was reading, it said that it's good to pray for others to change, but you need to ask God to help change you as well from the inside out. And once I start to pray that prayer day in and day out, oh my gosh, that feeling was so great. And I was able to stand toe to toe with him. I was able to take whatever he said to me, take it, and, pretty much not argue back with him, but I let him know, you no longer control me. Your words no longer hurt me. So you could say whatever you want to say. I don't care. And it got to a place to where when he would come for me, I would just walk away. Because when you deal with people like that, there is no winning battle. You cannot win with them. They will drain all of your energy. So you have to learn to walk away. And when I started to walk away, it pissed him off. But he kind of shied back a little bit. And each time I did it, he kind of shied back a little bit. It didn't stop him. But I could tell that he didn't talk to me like he would used to talk to me all the time. He didn't approach me the way he would normally approach me at times. So it became little by little. But, he still didn't change. He still did the same things. But any situation is different, but you just have to learn how to deal with that person. You have to ask God for guidance. You have to ask God, Lord, help me, to deal with this person. Help me to find a different way of dealing with that person, and I did. It may not work for every relationship, but you have to ask God for guidance and ask God to help you just find a different way. Because, see, their ways never change. And their ways will never change. So you have to change your ways. You have to. But that's one thing I want to come on here and share today. This is part 1. I will come on here maybe tomorrow and talk about do part 2, which is another form of abuse. And I hope and pray that this helps someone. And hopefully I can have that book for you tomorrow as well. Those 2 books that help me. But I hope this helps someone. And if you know someone who's in an abusive relationship or abusive situation, share this with them. Or take something from this and share it with them. Or if it's you and you need to talk, or you want, I'm not an expert, but if you want more information, or if you want to talk about it, you can follow me. Go to my Facebook page. It's LaShonda Lurks. It's LASHAWNDA LURKS. That is my Facebook. But like I said, just share if you can. And I know this will help somebody. Somebody needs it. And if I could just help just one person, just one, it will be so fulfilling. And I know that this is my purpose. I know that this is something that I have to do for me and for other people as well, women or men, because it's real. And it's more real now than ever, because now it has a name. And it's up to you to know the information so you can know, just in case you get into a relationship like that, or just in case you get into a situation like that, or someone who's in an actual situation like that. But I'm here to help. And like I say, if it's just taking one word from this, or, just anything, I have become an open book. And it took me a while to get to this place. But I just been feeling it so much in my spirit to just, do videos of about abuse. But nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to acknowledge it. But it's real. It's real. It's here. You have to deal with it. You have to get in the know of what it is and what it does. Abuse is just like a drug. It's hard to get away from it. It's hard. But with determination, with knowledge, with wisdom, with prayer, with a community backing you up on it, listen, anything is possible. Anything. But you have to be determined to get up and do something about it. So once again, I am LaShonda. I am a single mom of two. I am a owner of two businesses. I am a hairstylist, and I run a health and wellness business. And if you want to know more about me, you can follow me on Facebook at LaShonda Lurks. That's LaShawndalurks. And I thank you for listening, and I pray that this helps someone. And like I said, just please share if you can and if you're willing. And God bless.